Jesus, my hairline is really starting to deteriorate. Anyway, right, so in this video I'm going to be taking a look at this motor which I bought from AliExpress. Basically what happened was I need a new motor put in my Maverick Strada XT, and I will show you why this thing needs a new motor. Basically it just burnt out, but I don't think I can do any justice as to how bad it was at the time. So I was looking for 540 motors, kind of ended up being on a budget. I usually go to AliExpress for robot parts and get some stuff cheap on there, so I thought I'd have a look and see what was on there. And I ended up finding this. Now, I ended up going for a 530 turn motor, which basically the more turns it has, the slower, yes, it will be, but the more torque it will have. Anyway, I'm just going to take this out of the packet so you can get a bit of a close look at it. Now, I didn't think this had any branding on it first. Actually, oh, that's surprisingly glossy. Yeah, so we have a 35 ton motor. I'll just bring it up to the camera closely so you can see it. And yeah, so I actually struggled to make out what the logo was. Kind of couldn't recognise that letter. And but then there was a smaller detail. If I turn that upside down, you probably will be able to see it somewhere, but it's RXAZ. So that's the branding on this motor, and the tabs are a little bit bent up. I did have a tool somewhere to actually, there it is. I'm just going to get these straightened up, but the reason why I went for a 35 ton motor was because it's more torquey, and I wanted to see how that fares in the Strada XT. And also, I'm definitely going to be wrong on this, but I read somewhere that the more turns it has, the higher voltage it has. I'm just going to put that to one side, just going to put that here. Yeah, so I could be wrong on that. But I thought the motor in my Strada XT was going to be fine on 3S, but basically smoke ended up pouring out of it after a while, which that was only on its third run I did it on 3S, which was a bit strange. And that's me gonna stop daddling on and get on with it, basically. So also in the packet, aside from the motor, we do get some cabling included, but no heat shrink. That's been, I have to zoom that into you can see it a bit better, but the wiring has been tinned, so we got one there. Actually, I have to check to make sure they're the same connectors. So that's pretty much junk, so throw that away. Yeah, so we have our motor, the wiring, and this didn't come with it. I just wanted to put some on it, some heat shrinks tubing just to put over the battery, the motor terminals. They are. It's 25 minutes to 11. Why am I filming it at this time? Anyway, so I want to get some heat shrink put on the motor terminals, just because I want to. I've just taken the clips off of the Strada XT, just got to prepare this thing to get this. Anyway, so that's the insides of the motor. That was the motor it has, and actually you can just make out how bad this thing got burnt out. And actually just got to check if they're the same connectors. Are they? Well, they're quite similar. The hole seems to be a lot smaller. I probably should clean this out as well, because it's got a lot of grass in it from its previous run. And anyway, so the plan is to get this motor out and this motor in. So let's do this. Right, so the battery in the camera died just as I was finishing up, oh well, it was only minimalist stuff, but just want to zoom in a little bit so you can just see a few bits. I'm missing a screw for the gear cover, because the tray it was sat in got knocked over and everything just spread across the table, and I can't see for my life or think. I've had to move around, but I couldn't seem to find it. And the other thing as well, one of the countersunk bolts that go on the bottom I've lost, so I've had to use a button head bolt, which I can't remember where on that this came from. It definitely wasn't that one, because these are screws rather than bolts. But other than that, we do have the motor in, and I might have to leave it, but I do. Yeah, sounds healthy. Sounds like how it should have been before. I probably should have maybe trimmed the wires a little bit because they are tucking out. But we have the motor in now. I'm just going to get this resting on a piece of wood just to demonstrate. But before I do that, so yeah, this was the previous motor, which was actually, I'll just pan that up so you can just see it a little bit better. Anyway, so this was the motor that came with the Strada XT. Something just fell on the table, yeah, and I can't. That just fell on. No idea what that was. I felt something fall onto the table, but doesn't matter, I guess. So anyway, yeah, this was the motor that I was using, and that came in the Strada XT when I got it for my 26th birthday, which was the Maverick MM2, which is a 22-ton motor. Whereas this one is a 35 ton, so yeah, that is going to be a little bit more torquier. And yeah, you can see where. And when this did go up, a lot of smoke poured out, so much so that I thought it was a lipo fire. So I panicked because I thought the whole car was going to go up in flames, but thankfully that wasn't the case. So if I put a standard 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride battery on the motor and do it on the other polarity. Kind of dropped the motor a little bit there, so nothing there and nothing. So this motor's gone. This motor has pretty much had it. Now, if I just hook the battery up to the motor that's now in the Strada XT and try, we have power. Hang on, just pan down a little bit. It is kind of, oops. Yeah, I probably should have used a bit of a thicker. Yeah, it's heavier on that side, so it should be counterbalanced correctly. Let's try that one more time. And try the other polarity. Well, all is good so far. It sounds pretty healthy. It sounds very good. So with that motor in, I'm just going to get the heat shrink back on. Well, I say back on, it's never actually been on this motor before. What am I even talking about? Get it back on, and actually I think, wasn't it? I can't remember which way around it was. Maybe it was that one. Maybe not. Well, there we have it. So what we're just going to do is just get this hooked up to the ESC. Kind of cable tied in a bit of a weird place. Cable tied right next to the switch. I might have to do some rearranging and probably go back to time-lapse mode. Actually scratch that. Okay, so I've got the wiring tucked in there, which should be fine. I might need to think of a way to hold it down, but I think it should be fine anyway. So I've got a 5000 mAh NIM battery in the... Sorry about that. Anyway, I've got a 5000 mAh NIM battery in the car. I brought down the transmitter, which I'll admit is very weird to hold, having been using my PI-32 most of the time with my Rising Fighter. to get the car turned on. Trims are a bit funny, I might have to get those adjusted, but... Hang on, I think I got the... Okay, so the polarity is wrong, which is weird, because I did solder the red one on where had the red marker, but, Right. Okay, so that's the polarity reverse, but also the other interesting thing, I realised I didn't have the EPA turned up all the way on the transmitter, so let's see how it is for real speed this time. Here we go. Okay, that's pretty good to me. Now what I'll do is I'll roll on to tomorrow and see how this thing actually performs with the new motor in. There's a bird somewhere making noises in that tree, and it's gone. Anyway, so for testing the new motor, I brought it along to this industrial estate that's a short walk from where I live. And for the battery wise, I'm just testing this first on a standard 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride pack, which is what I commonly use in my cars. Yeah, so it's a Sunday, it's relatively quiet, it should be okay. But let's test this thing out. Right, all set, ready to go. Yeah, so that's... See if I can zoom... Well, hang on. That's definitely slower. Just want to drive it around for a little bit. Yeah, so that is definitely slower, but it's getting on the grass quite fun. It's quite a long bit here. I just want to... Oh dear. Oh, is it going to get out of there? No. But on the grass, it's really good. But okay, so that's it on NIMS. Time to try a different battery. Okay, so I thought I brought with me a 2S LiPo. I had it in a bag in my back pocket, but I guess I either took it out. I swear I would have felt it if it did fall out. So instead, I'm just going to have jumped straight to the 3S pack. So I've got a 3000 mAh Turnigy Nanotech in there. I'm not going to bother putting the body back on because I just want to check to see how much charge I've got left. I've got 99% in it, but I want to see how much it goes down with the new motor in first. Right, so speed test time with it on 2S. Oh wow, okay, that's interesting. So I thought that this was going to be just as fast on 3S, on 2S than it was with the previous motor. Like say for example, I put a 2S pack in it and it would be just as fast on the previous motor. But actually it is, I swear it is that little bit faster. Haha! Don't really want to run it though, so okay, so let's see how much percentage that's got left. So putting my finger on the motor, it's not even, it's mildly warm, but it's not very warm and it's not even too hot to touch. That's good. So 99 to 92%. Well, the next test I want to do with this motor is I just want to see, actually I'll take that out just in case it does that, but not, sorry, anyway, the one test I want to do, there was some long grassed areas nearby and I just want to give it out a test on that and see how it goes. So, near my area there's this, which the grass hasn't been cut, looks like it's been a while, which is actually the perfect testing ground because I want to see how torquey this motor is. So first test on the 7.2 NIM. Well, that's really good. Because bashing the camera with the transmitter slightly. I think it got caught on a bit of cut grass, but it's a bit just being dragged along. It's like, oh dear. Right, there's quite a bit still wrapped around the drive shaft. But yeah, it's not quite in focus. That's cutting through the grass really nicely. Oh, is it? Yeah, I think I might have to set it free, or maybe not. Ah! Now, would I have been able to do that with the 22 tons motor in? Probably not, I don't know. Right, so that's it on 7.2 volts. Let's try it out on a 3S LiPo. Right, so the motor is quite warm. It was warmer the minute before I started recording this, but I just want to leave that to cool down first, just to be safe, before I test it with the 3S LiPo. Right, so I've now got the 3S LiPo in, but it's starting to rain, which means the ground will eventually get wet, so I kind of may as well make us a quick one and drive the car back home with the LiPo in so I can discharge it. So here we go on 3S. What the hell is that? Is that a cat? So I think because of how the grass is starting to get a bit slippery, which means it's not going to be able to get out of it as it was on the dryer glass, but it's the same cat. I actually saw that cat earlier in a I probably might have posted it in a YouTube Shorts somewhere, and there's a couple of, is that? Mind you, on 3S it's doing it pretty well. I mean, I'd like the grass to be a lot yeah, it's probably not going to get out of that. So I thought I'd just do a massive long run, massive-ish on the asphalt and just see what happens, and then go into the grass. Right, try a long run. I mean, yeah, the rain is definitely making a huge difference because it's, oh well. So I thought while I'm just driving it back, I thought I'd do a little bit of test on this bit of road, and the car that just pulled out of the drive I was passing, or just man in the passenger seat gave me a really dirty look. Obviously doesn't like fun, or anything that is fun. Where's not? Where's not? Right. Oh. Okay. He's not. Yeah, so I'm probably have to calm things down now, and probably for the sake of the LiPo as well. Alright, so I brought it back home, and the motor is, I was running around for a haircut, so yeah, if I put my fingers on it for a few seconds, it does become hot to touch. But as for the LiPo, it's still, well, I say still, what am I even talking about? It's on 59%, which I'm pretty impressed with. Because I swear that on the other motor it would have been a lot lower than that by now. So I'm just going to let the motor cool down for a bit, and I just want to discharge that LiPo just more. But there's one other test I want to do as well. Right, so just the final test I want to do was something that I wanted to do earlier, was just a test on a 2S LiPo. I only got a 800 mAh one, so I may as well just gonna have to make this a short one. So here we go. There's not really that much of a difference compared to the 7.2 volts to it. Maybe a little bit of a difference, but doesn't feel that much greater. What's happened there? What's happened? I had a feeling that wasn't too good because it's a bit of a loose XT60, but it hit the van and somehow disconnected itself, but I think that's enough testing on that. So after the thing that happened crashing into the van tyre. Thankfully it didn't hit the body of the van, because but anyway, that was definitely, I thought from a distance something was, I didn't really notice it until about a minute after it happened. Yeah, I think, but also it got a bit bent at the back there previously, beforehand all this, but I might have to take these out, put it in a vice clamp, and so I can get a more accurate, straighter result. But I'm not surprised, considering it's quite a soft aluminium. But I'll have to see if I can get those remade, or if they are available as materials like stainless steel or even titanium would be a lot better. I'll have to look into that first. But anyway, as for the motor, despite it not being as fast as the 22-ton motor in it, maybe if I put a 20-ton, it definitely would have been a lot faster then. But in terms of the torque, because previously when I drove the Strada XT in high grass areas like that, with the motor this originally had in it, it definitely struggles. But with how high of a torque this motor has, it allowed me to get in and out easier, so I can free myself without having to free the car. But it's a bit of grass time. But anyway, so that was the RXAZ 35-ton brush motor that I bought from AliExpress. Very happy with it. But I think next time I do, but I'm definitely going to be buying another one of those motors. But I'm going to go for the 20-ton. Because up there, I do have a Traxxas Rustler, an original 1994 one. In fact, let me just go get it down. So, yeah, so it's still got the, I believe it's the, probably not, it's a high-tech one. So, got the servo in, but my dad also did a bit of a polycarbonate extension there, probably just to hold the battery pack down a lot better. I definitely want to get this going. I want to try and find an original body, one in the same colours as that one up there, or I might just get one that I can spray paint in the same colours, but I do want to get a RXAZ 20-ton put in this one. Yeah, and I will definitely save that for another video. And the antenna, by the way, I have just glued down. It's literally only just for show only, because I felt that the original Rustlers looked a bit naked without them. And that being said, put that back up. So, the motor on 3S got surprisingly warm. I'm a little bit exhausted because of the day I've had yesterday before filming this part. But really happy with this motor. I would say give it a try if you are on a budget. I'm just going to end the video right there for my sake. And until whatever I get up to next week, I'll see you then.